Hello, Matujima, and you're watching Hornbill TV's Prime Time. Now headlines. President Draupadi Murmu on Tuesday, while attending the first Asian Buddhist Summit, said that a Buddhist community has much to offer to mankind at a time when the world is facing strife and climate crisis. As people in the United States cast their votes to elect the next president, External Affairs Minister of India S. Shankar, who is in Australia's Canberra, said, irrespective of the verdict, India's relationship with the US will only grow. As the voting for the US presidential elections commenced on Tuesday, the Indian-American voters expressed divided views, with some supporting Donald Trump for his economic and immigration policies, while others are standing behind Kamala Harris, attracted by her leadership style. A special POCSO court in North Tripura district on Tuesday convicted two brothers on charges of raping a minor girl on multiple occasions and sentenced them to 20 years of jail. Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong condemned the attack on Hindu temple in Canada, saying that everyone is entitled to be safe and respected irrespective of their identity and origin. A special POCSO court in North Tripura district on Tuesday convicted two brothers on charges of raping a minor girl on multiple occasions and sentenced them to 20 years of jail under various sections of the Indian Penal Code and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, Public Prosecutor Sudarshan Sharma said. According to Sharma, the incident came to light when the minor girl became pregnant and gave birth to a baby. The first information report of the incident was registered on February 12, 2022 with the Dharma Nagar Women's Police Station. However, the incident occurred in February 2021. The minor girl on her way home from school entered the house of the accused persons and asked for water. She was familiar with the family and used to share good rapport with the mother of the accused persons. On the fateful day, the elderly lady was absent from home. Taking advantage of the situation, prime accused Prasanta Debnath forcefully took her to his room and raped her. His younger brother Rapu Debnath secretly witnessed the whole incident and later resorted to blackmailing her, Sharma said. Fearing social humiliation, the rape survivor followed the instructions of the abusive siblings. She was then raped on multiple occasions over a period of 1 year by both the brothers. Her family could realize her ordeal she had endured only after she became pregnant. Subsequently, a police complaint was filed on February 12, 2022. Investigating officer Usha Rani Debnath filed the charge sheet within a period of 2 months and the trial began. The special POCSO court examined the testimonies of 23 witnesses before pronouncing them guilty.
মামলা যেটা মহিলা থানার কেস নাম্বার ছিল 10/2022 ধর্মনগর মহিলা থানার মামলা। এটা একটা ঘটনা ঘটেছিল আমাদের আনন্দবাজার এরিয়ায়। একটা নাবালিকা মেয়ে বিকাল 4টা নাগাদ ঘটনাটা এফআইআরটা হয়েছিল 12 ফেব্রুয়ারি 2022 এবং ওই এফআইআরের ভাষ্য মধ্যে যেদিন এফআইআর দাখিল করে এর 1 বছর আগে ওই মেয়েটা তার স্কুল থেকে জীবন ত্রিপুরা স্কুল থেকে ফেরার পথে জলের তৃষ্ণা পায় এবং ওই রাস্তার সঙ্গে একটা বাড়িতে পরিচিত মেয়েটার খুব পরিচিত বাড়ি এবং আসামিদের মাকে দিদা বলে ডাকতো এবং ওই বাড়িতে গিয়ে দিদা বলে ডাকে জল খাওয়ার জন্য। ওই সময় প্রশান্ত দেবনাথ আসামি মেয়েটাকে টেনে তার ঘরে নিয়ে যায় এবং রেপ করে এবং এই রেপের ঘটনাটা প্রশান্ত ছোট ভাই পাপ্পু দেবনাথ দেখে ফেলে এবং পরবর্তীতে এই মেয়েটিকে ব্ল্যাকমেলিং করে এই পাপ্পু দেবনাথও ওই মেয়েটাকে সঙ্গে খারাপ কাজ করে রেপ করে। এর পরবর্তীতে মেয়েটা প্রেগনেন্ট হয়, বাচ্চা হয়। এর পরবর্তীতে মামলা হয় ধর্মনগর মহিলা থানায় এবং এই মামলার তদন্তকারী অফিসার ছিলেন মহিলা থানার এসআই উষা রানী দেবনাথ এবং উনি খুব দ্রুততার সঙ্গে মামলা হওয়ার 2 মাসের মধ্যে মাননীয় বিশেষ আদালতে চার্জশিট দাখিল করেন এবং চার্জশিট দাখিল করার পরে বিচার প্রক্রিয়া চলে এবং দীর্ঘ শুনানির পর আমরা সরকার পক্ষ প্রায় 23 জন সাক্ষী উপস্থিত করি এবং আজকে মাননীয় বিচারক 376(2)(n) দ্বারায় 2 জন আসামিকেই ওরা আপন 2 ভাই ওদেরকে 10 বছরের জেল এবং 10,000 টাকা জরিমানা, অনাদায়ী আরও 6 মান্থের জেল এবং সেকশন 506 আইপিসিতে 1 বছরের জেল এবং 1,000 টাকা জরিমানা, অনাদায়ে আরও 1 মাসের জেল এবং পক্সো আইনের সেকশন 6-এ 2 জন আসামিকে 20 বছরের জেল, 25,000 টাকা জরিমানা, অনাদায়ে আরও 8 মাসের জেল আদেশ দিলেন আজকে। আমরা সরকার পক্ষ খুশি যে আজকের এই রায়দানে, যাতে আগামীতে কেউ যদি এই ধরনের অপরাধ করতে যায় তখন একটা ডর থাকবে যে এই ধরনের অপরাধ করলে এই ধরনের চূড়ান্ত শাস্তি পাওয়া যাবে।
President Draupadi Murmu graced the first Asian Buddhist Summit organized by the Ministry of Culture, Government of India in collaboration with the International Buddhist Confederation in New Delhi on Tuesday. Speaking on the occasion, the President said that India is the blessed land of Dharma. In every age, there have been great masters and mystics, seers and seekers in India who have shown humankind a way to find peace inside and harmony outside. Noting that the central government has granted the status of classical language to Pali and Prakrit, among other languages, President of India Draupadi Murmu said that both the languages would now receive financial support, which will contribute significantly to the preservation of the literary treasures and to their revitalization. President Murmu also mentioned how the Buddhist community has much to offer to humankind at a time when the world today is facing an existential crisis on many fronts, not only strife but also the climate crisis. Meanwhile, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju expressed joy to notice such an impressive gathering of Sangha leaders, Buddhist practitioners, academicians, monks and nuns from across the Asian continent and beyond. He said that it is truly a reflection of the close bond that exists among the Buddhist communities in these countries. These bonds are not merely driven by political and economic priorities, but more significantly by the common thread of Buddha's teachings.
Ashok, the great emperor who shunned violence after embracing Buddhism, had this definition of it carved on a pillar, and I quote, "Dhamma is good." And what is Dhamma? It is having few faults and many good deeds, mercy, charity, truthfulness, and purity. Unquote. Over the centuries, it was only natural that different practitioners would find different meanings in the Buddha's discourages, and thus there arose a variety of sects. In broad classifications, today we have Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana traditions, with many schools and sects within each of them. Moreover, such flowers of the Buddha Dharma proceeded in many directions over different periods of history. In one wave, it was transmitted to Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Cambodia, Indonesia, and other places in Southeast India. Another wave took the words of wisdom to Tibet and Nepal, and then to China, Mongolia, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, and elsewhere. While their interpretation of the Tathagata's message differ widely, what must be noted is that there is no contradiction among them. The Buddha's first discourse at Sarnath near Varanasi remains fundamental, and layers of further and further refined understanding of it are added to it.
Today we all are here. I am happy to notice such an impressive gathering of Sangha heads. Buddhist practitioners, academicians, monks and nuns from across Asian continent and beyond. This truly is a reflection of close bond that exists among the Buddhist communities in these countries. These bonds are not merely driven by political and economic priorities, but most significantly by the common thread of Buddha's teachings. Buddhism spread from India to other countries through the Dhammaduts of Ashok, who traveled far and wide at a time when there was no proper transportation available. But today, we in India are glad to see all of you as Dhammaduts from your respective countries visiting this holy land of Buddha. The more that we engage and interact through forums such as the Asian Buddhist Summit, it would tend to strengthen our firm and strong association based on the Buddha's teachings aimed at a safe, secure and peaceful world, where compassion and wisdom form the essence of our lives and the societies.
We'll take a short break. Keep watching.
कॉलेज बोले तो दोस्ती यारी यारों संग है फ्रीडम सारी फ्रीडम equals time of life life माने joy right Activa 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 scooter ले Activa
स्कूटर बोले तो
Activa
जिसे बनाने में किसी भारतवासी का पसीना बहा हो उसे खरीदने पर जोर देना चाहिए और ये सबके प्रयास से ही संभव होगा। वोकल फॉर लोकल हमें व्यवहार में लाना ही होगा।
देश के यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के वोकल फॉर लोकल के आह्वान से प्रेरित उत्तराखंड सरकार इस दिशा में हर महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठा रही है। प्रकृति, संस्कृति और विरासत को अपने अंदर समेटे उत्तराखंड में बने प्रोडक्ट एक ब्रांड के रूप में उभरते जा रहे हैं। उत्तराखंड सरकार द्वारा ग्रामीण उद्यमियों एवं कृषि उत्पादों को भी राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजारों से जोड़ने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है। उत्तराखंड सरकार द्वारा लॉन्च किया गया हाउस ऑफ हिमालयास ब्रांड क्षेत्र के प्रामाणिक हस्तशिल्प उत्पादों को बढ़ावा दे रहा है। वहीं उत्तराखंड देश का पहला राज्य बन गया है जिसे एक दिन में सबसे अधिक 18 GI टैग मिले। ये सभी प्रयास उत्तराखंड सरकार के वोकल फॉर लोकल के प्रति प्रतिबद्धता का प्रमाण है। लोकल उत्पादों को अपनाकर हम न केवल उत्तराखंड की विरासत को सहेज रहे हैं बल्कि स्थानीय लोगों को आर्थिक रूप से सशक्त भी बना रहे हैं। आइए इस त्योहार स्थानीय उत्पादों को अपनाकर उत्तराखंड की प्रगति में अपना योगदान दें और साथ मिलकर एक आत्मनिर्भर और समृद्ध उत्तराखंड बनाएं।
Welcome back. As people in the United States cast their votes to elect the next president, External Affairs Minister of India, Sri Shankar, who is in Australia's Canberra, said, irrespective of the verdict, India's relationship with the US will only grow. He said India has seen steady progress in relationship with the US over the last 5 presidencies, including an earlier Trump presidency. He also said the Quad was revived under the Trump presidency. US Vice President and Democratic Party candidate Kamala Harris is taking on former US President and Republican candidate Donald Trump. The counting of the votes will take place a few hours after the polling is over.
We have actually seen steady progress in our relationship with the US over the last 5 presidencies, including an earlier Trump presidency. So when we look at the American election, we are very confident that whatever the verdict, our relationship with the United States will only grow. In terms of the Quad, I remind you that actually the Quad was revived under a Trump presidency in 2017. It was then moved from the level of a permanent secretary to a minister, also during the Trump presidency. And in fact, it's interesting, in the midst of COVID, when pretty much physical meetings had stopped, one of the rare physical meetings of foreign ministers was actually of the Quad in Tokyo in 2020. So I think that should tell us something about the prospects of the Quad.
As the voting for the U.S. presidential election commenced on Tuesday local time, the Indian-American voters are expressing divided views, with some supporting Donald Trump for his economic and immigration policies, while others are standing behind Kamala Harris, attracted by her leadership style. Ajay Patel, an Indian-American from New York, expressed his support for Donald Trump, citing shared values such as hard work and economic independence. He believes immigration should be limited and the needs of Americans should be prioritized. Kumar, an Indian-American from New York, expressed mixed feelings about Kamala Harris, stating that she has done a tremendous job and resonated with the people. However, she has not been able to fully introduce herself to America. Ajay Bhutoria, a member of Kamala Harris's presidential campaign National Finance Committee, affirmed confidence in Harris's victory and urged people not to be misled by Trump's false statements. The United States presidential elections have commenced in the U.S. on Tuesday. The first ballot has been cast in New Hampshire's small township of Texville Notch, a township located along the U.S.-Canada border. Over 160 million voters are expected to cast their ballots, with the results either delivering a return to power for Republican former President Donald Trump, 78, or electing America's first woman in the White House, Vice President and Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. According to polls, both candidates are deadlocked in the race, with an estimated 75 million voters having already voted, and the race for the White House is down to the wire.
To me, Trump is the one I support because he believes in some of the values that I have. You know, if we work hard, I want to keep my money and I don't want to take care of other people who are entering the country illegally. This is not happening just in America, it's happening across the globe. So we have to look at this as a global issue. However, we live in the United States. We have to protect the United States. We have to protect the people who live here. We shouldn't have people starving on the streets of America while we worry about people across the world that really don't care about America or the people and the values that America has. So that's why the Trump group has started to resonate more with Indians compared to Indians being more traditionally. This time around, I feel more Indians are in line with what the views President Trump holds, and we support him. That's the reason.
Obviously, I'm a little bit biased in my viewpoint, but what she has done is put together a phenomenal campaign in the last, I would say, 90 days. And it's very, very difficult for someone like, for anyone to jump into a run, and especially a presidential race. And she's done a tremendous job. She has resonated with people. She's got great talking points. I believe she has unfortunately not been able to completely introduce herself to America given the short time span. And policy-wise, I think there could be a better policy when it comes to the top three issues that Americans are talking about with immigration, inflation, crime. Those are the types of challenges that we have. It's going to be a good fight, and we are looking forward.
Friends, I'm so excited here. I'm here in Philadelphia where Vice President Harris will be speaking in some short time. And this is a historic night, and tomorrow will be a historic day where the country gets to choose the first Indian American, the first black woman, and the first woman commander-in-chief of our country, and for a new way forward to create economic opportunities. So please make sure that you get out and vote, and you call every friend and family member and everybody you know to make sure you get out and vote, especially in the battleground states in Arizona, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, North Carolina. Please make sure you call everybody you know to get out and vote for Harris and Walz. And for my South Asian friends, please, this is a chance to make a history to elect the first Indian American Vice President of the United States. So please do not fall into the trap of misleading statements made by Trump. Please make sure you vote. She will be the best for economy, immigration, healthcare, innovation, you name it, and she will work hard for. And she only had one client throughout her life, to be the people, and that's what she's going to work for. So please make sure get out of the vote, and we'll celebrate tomorrow, and we are going to win. Thank you.
We'll take another short break. Keep watching.
कॉलेज बोले तो दोस्ती यारी यारों संग है फ्रीडम सारी फ्रीडम इक्वल्स टाइम ऑफ लाइफ माने एंजॉय राइड एक्टिवा स्कूटर एटले एक्टिवा
स्कूटर बोले तो एक्टिवा
Welcome back. Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong condemned the attack on Hindu temple in Canada, saying that everyone is entitled to be safe and respected irrespective of their identity and origin. On Sunday, protesters carrying Khalistani flags stormed inside the premises of the Hindu Sabha temple in Brampton in Canada. The protesters disrupted a consular event co-organized by the temple authorities and the Indian consulate. Regardless of their faith, culture, who they are and where they are, all are entitled to be safe and respected. It is very upsetting thing for the Indian community, Wong said on Tuesday. Vandalism should be dealt with appropriate law enforcement authorities, she added.
Well, first in relation to safety, all Australians, regardless of their faith, their culture, who they are, where they live, are entitled to be safe and they're entitled to be respected. In relation to the vandalism that you describe, I know that our local members have expressed a very strong view about that, particularly in the week of Diwali. It's a very upsetting thing for members of the faith community and the Indian community more broadly. So I would again say people across Australia have a right to be safe and respected. People also have a right to peaceful protest. People have a right to express their views peacefully. We draw a line between that and violence, incitement of hatred or vandalism, and they should be dealt with by the appropriate law enforcement authorities. We're a multicultural democracy. We cherish that fact, but we also cherish those principles which enable that multicultural democracy to flourish, and they are respect of one another and a right to express different views.
CPIM leader Brinda Karat has accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of violating the Model Code of Conduct by using communal words while addressing public rally in Jharkhand. Brinda said PM's Kushepatiya Mandan Mafia Ka Gulam statement are communal and against the law. She questioned the Election Commission for not taking notice and said when such statement were made in Haryana, EC broke all rules and issued notice to the entire party. However, an atmosphere has been formed that the PM is above all laws. PM Modi, while addressing an election rally in Garhwa, said the JMM RJT Congress party support infiltrators and making them settle in the state. He also stated that Jharkhand government has become enslaved by mafia and people are being forced to migrate.
निशाना सिर्फ साथ नहीं रहे, निशाना तो कर ही सकते हैं। सवाल है उनके जो वक्तव्य है, उनका जो शब्द इस्तेमाल करते हैं, ये सरासर मॉडल कोड ऑफ कॉन्डक्ट जो लागू होता है और भाषण के जो शब्द इस्तेमाल करते हैं वो सीधे तौर पर सांप्रदायिक हैं और कानून के खिलाफ है। तो सवाल ये उठता है कि क्या हमारे इलेक्शन कमीशन सोए हुए हैं क्या? हमारे इलेक्शन कमीशन के ऑफिस में क्या सब कुंभकर्ण घुसे हुए हैं? क्या कारण है कि जैसे प्रधानमंत्री की भाषण पूरे तौर पर पीपल्स रिप्रेजेंटेशन एक्ट का भी जहां पूरे तौर पर जो भाषण वो दे रहे हैं वो उसका उल्लंघन हो रहा है, वायोलेशन हो रहा है, लेकिन फिर भी इलेक्शन कमीशन नोटिस तक नहीं दे सकते हैं। पिछली बार जब हरियाणा में इस प्रकार के भाषण दिए गए तो इलेक्शन कमीशन ने पूरे नियम को तोड़कर पार्टी को उन्होंने बगैर नाम लिए हुए उन्होंने नोटिस दिया। अभी तक जो भाषण दे रहे हैं उस व्यक्ति के ऊपर एक्शन होता है, उस व्यक्ति को नोटिस दे रहे हैं। लेकिन आज ऐसे लगता है कि हमारे देश की ये हालात बन गए हैं कि हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री हर कानून से ऊपर है।
That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.